Again, thanks for waiting here. Really good practice. Typical Wednesday practice ending with 2 minutes, as always. Injury updates, I think you guys have them, right? Jake was the latest one. Aside from that, I think you just saw Dawson. Dawson's banged up, so he's going to be a little bit before he gets back, Dawson Jaramillo. Aside from that, I feel like we're pretty clean and healthy going to the game. So that being said, open to questions.
You have a nice indoor facility. Did you hesitate at all thinking about going inside, or do you really want the guys out in the rain today?
We needed this work out here. And it was perfect. The rain came down during the team periods, which is it's probably going to rain on Saturday, and it's a good thing. So it was felt good about the elements of practicing.
You also had the noise piped in there. That obviously prepares. Do you have it most of practice, or there at the end? Do you have it going through different segments?
Different segments, absolutely. We actually use it for the defense for home games as well, right? Because they get the flip side of it. They have to communicate when the stadium's loud. So, yeah, and we've done that for so long. We've done that since camp, just so it's not anything new by the time we roll around to a game like this. So it was really effective.
It's been a minute since you've been in a game where it rained probably all game, other than the Civil War. Does it change much? I mean, because there's potentially even lightning, and there could be quite a delay involved. Like, how much does it change anything that you do, even strategically, when this could be something that you have to deal with all game long?
Well, again, it's been a long time since we've been in a game like that. So if the elements have it, so it's impossible to see 5 feet in front of you, then obviously you've got to change some of the things that you do. But we're going in there with a game plan. We feel good about executing, and we're going to keep practicing it, and we'll see what happens come Saturday.
With how well Verone's been playing up at safety, just how much does that add to the type of defense that Andy likes running, where it's, you guys have 5 DBs on the field, a large portion of the game, and it just seems like that's part of his system.
Well, certainly more versatility and multiplicity. Certainly you can increase competition across the board. But he's been really good. He's really smart, and the more you can have guys like that step up and play like he has, obviously the better for a coach. So Andy's and the rest of the guys done a really good job using his talents and the rest of those guys.
Last 2 or 3 weeks, what have you seen just from Popo and his ability to make an impact along this defensive line in place of Jordan?
You're starting to see him play to his ability a little bit, and it's becoming more consistent. I think everyone on the team will tell you, because Popo, since the day he got here, he went through a lot. Had to get some repairs done, and certainly did a good job fighting back academically. So everyone's really proud of him, because we were tough on him, we were real hard on him. And what has shown up over the last couple of weeks is a guy who's playing, with good pad level, using his hands and striking blockers. And really, he's a guy that has a world of potential and ability, and we need him to come out and perform. We're counting on him to continue to get better to help this football team.
You see when he is able to play more snaps, can you see that help Jordan with rest and he stay fresher, deeper into games too?
Yeah, without a doubt. That with that position, I mean, you think about it, if there was a job description for that out there, how many people would sign up? We have an opening for a guy to sit here in the middle and get blasted by 300-pound men for 60 minutes at a time, right? That's what that position does, and those guys do a really, really good job being physical, being tough, understanding blocks, because the worst thing you could do there is peak for the football. That's when you get washed by the A and B gaps, right? So those guys have played with good discipline and toughness.
They'll be pretty instrumental in helping you contain the best running back you face this season, and running back core as a whole, not just one guy. But what have you seen from Ahmed that makes him that effective? Clearly, you saw him a little bit last year, but it's not just him with the crew as well. So what have you seen?
Sure, no, those guys are explosive guys. They're patient, and when they see what they need to see, they go. They explode through holes. They're explosive runners. When they get by you, they haven't been run down very much. They go play behind a very big offensive line and some very effective tight ends as well. The tight ends in their running game are a real big part of what they do. And they like to run a lot of duo, the old school Pittsburgh Steelers double, and they do a great job with it. A lot of multiple formations and shifts and motions and all that stuff. So excellent challenge for our guys.
What does it say about your defense, and Andy in particular, Mario, that you have 24 guys with tackles for loss, and that's a huge number for a season. You're only halfway through. But, I mean, you could add to that in a big way. It's the most you've had in a good number of years. Yeah. Just to put that many guys in position to make those kind of plays.
Well, it's again, we felt that coming out of fall camp that this could be a really special defense, and I think if you talk to all the guys on that defense and the coaches, they'll still tell you that we can and need to, and we'll get a whole lot better. So it's exciting.
When you guys have a guy like Jake who's lost for the season and he's a senior, how do you guys go about developing a rehab plan for him where it gets him in line to, next year's a huge year for him going forward in his career?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's at the forefront of our thoughts and our processes right now. Is the first part is, of course, taking care of the injury itself and starting him on a plan that's going to put him in position to be ready to work and show scouts what he can do when the time comes along. And part of that is not getting away from football too much, right? Because you don't want to be healed and have been away so much from it that all of a sudden you got to shake off the rust again. So, but we're very confident in the plan for him and very confident that he's going to have a real good career.
You've coached a lot of phenomenal offensive linemen. Have you ever coached one quite as cerebral as Throckmorton?
A true doctor, because he is, they call him Doc Throck. He's, I don't know. I mean, every time you feel like, you're pretty smart or you're trying to get smarter, he's already read 5 books on that subject. And he can tell you all about it. So, special guy. Now, he's one of a kind. He really is.
You've seen any player, not just lineman, Mario, be able to be as capable as he is to balance it all, not just the academics, but the personal life. I mean, he just got engaged 2 weeks ago. Like, there's a lot going on in this guy's life, yet he managed to excel.
Way beyond his years. I thought one of the neatest things I ever seen is, he got hurt in the bowl game. And remember, we had that snow day, which when it snows here, everything shuts down, right? Well, we got here early because Coach Feld and myself, a couple other guys, were going to make sandwiches and try to spark up a grill and make food for the guys. And his car was stuck, but he was still rehabbing. So I don't know how far he lives, guess a mile and a half with that injury. And he marched his mile and a half in the snow at 5:30 a.m. just to get here to see if anyone was here to give him treatment that day, figuring that there wasn't going to be any school and he could get extra treatment to get better. That's just what he is. He's the ultimate teammate, competitor, you name it. That guy's he's another. I've used this before for a few guys. I like to keep it, pretty selective, and he's one of them. He's exactly what you want your son to be.
Got a big commitment this week from Bennett Williams. Looking ahead, can you talk about what he brings to the table next year?
Can't talk about recruiting as it relates to certain players and whatnot.
Stephen Jones hasn't played 2 of the last 3 games. Is he healthy, or is there possibly maybe exploring that redshirt ability for him because he's played in 3? Or
that's a good question because we're at the brink with him, right? He's played in 4 games. He got a little bit dinged up, but he's healthy now again. He is ready to play if he needs to play. If not, there's the possibility of a redshirt discussion down the road a little bit. There's still a lot of football to play, so we kind of hold back on that. And look, it's a great rule, and at the same time, football, it's hard. It's just so unpredictable that you might want to use that down the line. God forbid a guy gets injured. So it's a tough one with a guy like him because that guy's a special player and he helps us win. But right now he is ready, locked and loaded to play on Saturday. So he's in the plans.
How do you then balance that with a guy like Patrick Herbert, where depth now is an issue, but you also probably wanted to redshirt him going in? How do you kind of balance of getting him ready to see?
Absolutely. Has to be ready to play 100%. And if there's enough reps there for him to have, he's going to get them. Absolutely.
Similar spot for Mario, and how much is this shaking up? Because you're talking about 2 third-team linemen were hurt. Does this change who plays on second team? If you're talking about red shirts and then third-teamers are hurt, how shaken up is yours?
It factors in for all those guys. We'd love to always have a guy have an extra year if he can, especially guys that, that make a transition like they did. So, but because of the unpredictability of it, right, we were trying to develop him a little bit more, and all of a sudden he's in the mix and running reps with the 2s. I'd hate to say something this week and then we come back here next week and I'm playing a different tune. So we just got to go week by week and see how it goes. But guys got to be ready to play, right? They got to be ready to play. And, you look at the way it's working out now, then you look a year ahead and you say, well, maybe you don't want to play guys in the first 4 games, knowing that you might need them in a 4-game spurt somewhere later in the season. Really, really hard to predict.
Have you been to Husky Stadium before?
I have.
Do you have any sort of routine? I mean, obviously you said you've been there, but when you're visiting a new stadium for the first time, do you ever have any sort of routine of like just getting sights?
No routines, no slogans. I'm a very boring individual. Just very, just have our guys focused on the task at hand, and it relates completely to our preparation. All right. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.